Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It is a fact that Jonathan Kuminga is a good player and sometimes he has had little time on the court to better develop his game. It seems that Steve Kerr doesn't appreciate Kuminga's game that much, but the player is the target of attacks from other teams. Strong rumors: Jonathan Kuminga is expected to leave the Warriors in the middle of the season. The Golden State Warriors have officially entered the post-Klay Thompson era. Thompson had already come off the bench for them occasionally last season, but with him gone and some new faces on the team, Steve Kerr is going to have to adjust accordingly. Moreover, it seems like it's finally Jonathan Kuminga's time to be the man. Kuminga has grown frustrated with his usage, or lack thereof, in the past, but he looks ready to take a big leap forward, and the Warriors will need him to do so. With that in mind, they asked Draymond Green whether he saw Kuminga's role changing to play at the 4 and slide Green to the 5, or whether he'd spent most of his time at small forward. Green didn't seem too excited about the idea of Kuminga playing at power forward, stating that he's always seen him as a small forward. Per Green, the PF spot requires a certain skill set and knowledge of the position that not everybody has, just like what happens with every single spot on the court. Therefore, he questioned whether a wide receiver could learn how to play quarterback in no time, pretty much stating that he just doesn't see Kuminga as a power forward. At the end of the day, the Warriors will have to rely on Kuminga early and often, whether it's at small forward with Andrew Wiggins coming off the bench or at the 4 with Green as their center. Warriors' lack of faith in Jonathan Kuminga is baffling. On Wednesday, Warriors head coach Steve Kerr emphasized that only Stephen Curry and Draymond Green have guaranteed starting spots on his team entering the 2024-25 season. That must be crushing to hear for Jonathan Kuminga, who reportedly butted heads with Kerr in the early goings of last season over his lack of playing time. And when he was finally let out of the proverbial doghouse, Kuminga seized his opportunity. In January, he averaged an impressive 20.6 points and 5.8 rebounds at 58/40/80 shooting splits, thriving as the second scoring option behind Curry. At that juncture, it was incumbent upon the Warriors to embrace Kuminga as their future star. Instead, the opposite happened. As the season progressed, the Congolese native again saw his minutes shrink as he averaged just 26.5 minutes and 8.5 shots in April, down from 30.5 and 13.5, respectively, in January. What exactly does Kuminga have to do to win over Kerr? NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins is baffled at the Warriors' handling of the 21-year-old forward. What about Jonathan Kuminga? Perkins asked on ESPN's NBA Today on Wednesday. Why isn't he a starter? He needs to be the second option on this team. The jump he took last season, he played at an elite level and went on a streak where he averaged 20 every night for a while. He basically changed their offense and made Steve Kerr do things differently. If I'm Steve Kerr, I've got to make sure there's a major focal point on Jonathan Kuminga. Perkins noted how Kuminga would be motivated to make a statement after not agreeing to a contract extension with the team in the offseason, and that Kerr must use that fuel to his benefit. However, if Kuminga is again not entrusted as a starter, it could backfire significantly for all parties involved. Conflicting timelines. The Warriors fielded 27 different starting lineups last year, with only 2 of those units starting over 10 games together. That level of chopping and changing didn't help them build any rhythm, and the same issues will crop up again, unless they are prepared to make tough decisions. Entering the new season, the Warriors are in a tricky position. Should they focus on developing their young core of Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody and Tracy Jackson-Davis? Or should they give Curry and Green veteran help to try and pursue another championship? If they were truly focused on the latter, they'd have traded Kuminga and or Podziemski to land Paul George or Lauri Markkanen. Instead, they continue to want to have their cake and it, too. That approach is unfair on both Curry and Kuminga.